Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yes. How you boys doing, man? Oh, looky there, we're back again. It is a new day. It is the final day of our work week. You bet your ass it is. It is the fourth day of our 4-day Mike Taylor Live weekly weekday extravaganza. It's Fart Drop Thursday. It's good to have all of you boys up in here. Thank you, man, for jumping in here and becoming a member or a subscriber. It looks cool that we have thousands of subscribers, and I really appreciate that. We got to get them. We got to get them memberships up, though. So how do we do that, LG? We do members only exclusive content. Which
exactly.
we've done. We haven't done this week though, which I feel bad about.
Yeah, we're about due for one.
We are due. Yeah, we don't want to do them all the time.
No.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you don't have to go anywhere today. Are you going to be able to participate in what I'm doing after the show is over today?
I have a gig at 5 p.m.
Oh,
today.
okay.
Yeah.
Here in town.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I have to pick up camera gear before 5 at some point.
You don't have
I'm
to-
pretty busy today.
You don't have to go up and hang out with surfer bros.
No, not today.
Well, what I'm going to do at noon today, you're not participating in that, right? Or are you?
It's pretty far.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
look
don't
at the
have
map
to.
and see if like my timeline can work out, but it might not.
All right. Well, I promise that when we roll on it, if we have to go without you, I'll do it this way.
Yeah,
Not that way.
I'd prefer.
Not vertically.
You know, it's not the
horizontally.
end of the world if you don't film widescreen, because I can still make it work.
But it's not big time, and I don't need to.
Yeah,
I
it's
need to
not
be
big
doing
time.
it big time. Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're shooting for TikTok or Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Instagram or TikTok, you want to do it,
Yeah, you
vertical.
want to do it vertical. Yeah.
but for what we do, no.
No.
Well, I ain't on TikTok, so fuck it.
Yeah.
We're working for us. What's up, bitches? All right, good. Sorry, we had a quick production meeting. We got another one. I mean, good Lord, do we ever? We have another one. Back to back. Female Texas teacher diddling reports. It's outrageous. We've got another one, and I don't know what. Maybe it's that time of the year. The holiday season is nigh, and the poontang is spry. I don't know what it is. For the second consecutive day, a female teacher has been busted for sexing up students. This gal here is young. She looks like she's been crying, though. Can you see that? Can you make that face out there?
Yeah, I see
She's
it,
got
yeah.
tears in her eyes. Oh, it was so
There's
fun.
something on her forehead there. Well, it looked weird.
You being nasty?
No.
No, there's nothing on her forehead. No.
It must have been the reflection then.
She looks terrified in this mugshot.
Okay,
Just
I'm seeing
terrified. Can you see? Can y'all make that out, Thunderdumbers? Dateline, Rockdale, Texas. You know where Rockdale is? You been in Rockdale?
No.
Oh, it's northeast of Austin, probably an hour or so. It's kind of in the middle of like the Austin, Temple, College Station triangle, if that were a triangle.
Okay, I got you.
Rockdale's
Yeah.
kind of dead in the center. Something called Shawnee Despain. Last name is Despain. Despain. Shawnee Despain. Shawnee. That's a country girl name. That's it. Where's Shawnee? She's riding back in the saddle. Oh. Once again, this is what happens when a small town like Rockdale probably doesn't pay teachers very well. And they got to just kind of hire who they can get that shows up. And they got this 24-year-old little girl, Shawnee Nicole Despain, a 24-year-old, now former teacher at Rockdale High, turned herself in Milam County last night on 2 felony warrants. 2 felony warrants. The charges, and I'm getting this off of news4.com. What's up? What's up? Shout out to Don Harris and David Chancellor and everybody at News 4. The charges, which include possession, promotion of child pornography, and an improper relationship between educator and student, stem from a Rockdale Police Department investigation into her conduct while employed at Rockdale ISD. Now, I've not read this whole thing yet. We're going to paraphrase it together here. I'm assuming the child porn she had was pictures of a kid.
Yeah,
Probably sent her a
definitely.
dick pic or something. Despain surrendered November the 7th with bonds set at $200,000 for the child pornography charge, $150K for the improper relationship. Wow, fucking the kid is cheaper than having him send a D-pig. These allegations surfaced after Rockdale ISD reported potential misconduct to the cops September the 21. She got suspended. Principal unleashed an investigation, decided, you've been mounting the students, and yeah, she got fired. We get there's just like, it's like a chat GPT statement now by all these ISDs. That's all the same thing. We take this seriously. Well, I hope so, fuckhead. What? No, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you took, screwing my student seriously. You don't need to tell me that. We now realize that female teachers in Texas like to squat over dudes, so to speak. Anyhow, Denise Monzingo, the superintendent of Rockdale ISD, the allegations against Ms. Despain are a grave violation of our district's policies and code of conduct. We take them very seriously. It's just like straight out of central casting with these statements. No shit, Sherlock. That's all we got. We don't have any more details, unfortunately, so get your perverted heads out of the gutter. I'm assuming that the child porn charge are pictures of the kid who's probably under 18, right? Surely who knows? We don't know for sure, but I'm assuming it's that.
Yeah,
sending pictures.
It's just
back
another
and
way
forth.
for them to nail her.
You're on a roll this week. What's gotten into you? Did you get laid? So here's the list. I got a list. Let me pull my list out here. This is who's been popped. Other than these gals' bodies by the students this year. We got Dripping Springs. Boy, was it ever.
That one doesn't even need a joke.
I know. Beaumont, a.k.a. Beaumont. The Idea School of Mission, the birthplace of the great Tom Landry. Alvin, the birthplace of the great Nolan Ryan. Mahia, up near Waco, the notable birthplace of Anna Nicole Smith, the dead voluptuous supermodel who married a 98-year-old and wound up overdosing on pills on accident. San Antonio Warren, Stanton, San Antonio Lanier, who was yesterday, and now Rockdale. You know that all of the people over at Lanier High are like, oh, thank God, somebody else got busted up in Rockdale, so now we'll get off the front pages. So when you Google Texas female teacher, sex, Lanier's not the first thing that comes up. Now it's going to be Rockdale. Unfortunate. It's got to be this time of the year, though. The holidays are nigh upon us. The weather's changing. Girls I don't know what it is. Women get sentimental. I don't know what it is.
Isn't there a word for this? Like
horny?
No, like this
holiday horny.
There's a word for this type of season. Coupling season. There's a word for it. I can't remember.
I just think the semester started at the end of August, and by right around now is where teachers start kind of breaking that ice with these students as they chat with them.
Well, the age checks out too.
24. Yeah, I know, it's unfortunate. It's like if you don't want your teacher to boink the students, don't hire a kid straight out of college. But a little town like Rockdale, I doubt there's 55 applicants for every job they have open.
Well, especially in today's teaching world.
Absolutely, it's unfortunate. One of the byproducts of how terribly we pay our teachers in the public school system in this state is this. So it's on you, Greg Abbott. All right, man. Y'all jump in here with the chat. If you got something for me, it's on the chats. Lawrence hooked up my laptop today, and look, I'm on my laptop, and I can read the chat straight out of my laptop. Thanks, LG. Appreciate that, bro. Love you hard. So y'all jump in here today, and chat with me. We'll read some of the better ones and some of the ones I'm able to see, because once they start scrolling up and down as the show goes along, it gets more difficult. All right, it's Fart Drop Thursday, and boy, you talk about laying a turd on the center of the court at Madison Square Garden last night. My word. These people just don't get beat. They get their ass kicked. They get smoked. They get annihilated. The Spurs go into Nueva York last night and play an okay Knicks team. Knicks have some players. That R.J. Barrett is starting to come into his own finally. That, what's-his-face, Brunson, he's a solid player in the NBA. But the Knicks are not that awesome. They've got that Tom Thibodeau, the head coach, who's highly respected. The Spurs go in there last night, and they get down by 30 at one point. 30. And then they just get run off the floor, and they get beat, 120-something to 100-something. They got beat by like 22. All that pants rigor mortis that I had from last week, the two-game sweep in Phoenix, I had such pants rigor mortis. I had to tuck it up in my belt, and it was so excited. It's all been completely deflated now. It's unfortunate. They're not
like
even
a scared turtle.
Yeah, when they lose, they're like in it. That flips over on its shell to hide itself. When they lose, they show their ass. They've been non-competitive most of the way here, and this is now a trend. This is a losing streak. 3 straight they've lost.
That was a disgraceful performance.
They've now, and this goes back to the Toronto game. They got beat. Okay, so they lose to Dallas in a hard-fought game on opening night. Then they bounced back and they beat Houston, and Wemby looked pretty good, and they held off Houston. Then they went out to L.A., played the Clippers, and just got their dongs run over. Lost by 40-something points to the Clippers. Just embarrassed. And then they go to Phoenix and they sweep the Suns, beat them 2 out of 3 nights. Now, granted, Phoenix didn't have their full contingent, but still. And Wembanyama was terrific. He had 38 in one game. He had double-doubles, and he was a monster. And then all of a sudden they come back home. They play the Raptors Sunday. They're up by 20-something points on the Raptors. I think they were up, 27? And blow the lead and lose in overtime. And now they've subsequently had their asses handed to them by Indiana and New York on back-to-back 2 straight games. So really, they got blown out by the Raptors. I know they got beaten overtime, but if you consider when they were up by 25 or whatever it was in the Raptors game, I mean, they got outscored by 30 the rest of the way. They blew that 28-point lead, whatever it was, and wind up losing in overtime. They've been blown out 3 straight nights. If you consider the second half of the Toronto game, they've now been just crushed for 2 games and a half and an overtime in a row. Virtually non-competitive. And they did not have the best player on the team for 2 of these games. It's not Victor Wembanyama, not yet. Devin Vassell is the best player they've got. But he played last night. Now, he didn't play a ton, and he didn't even start after missing a couple of games with a tweaked groin. So it was good that he played, but Pop didn't start him. I'm not sure why. That was kind of weird to me. He's your best player. Even if he's on a limited basis because he's coming off an injury and he's a bit rusty, why isn't he starting? I found that a bit peculiar. I thought it was weird. He's the best player you have. So this thing gets annihilated last night. It was embarrassing. And Wembanyama was probably embarrassed as he's at the free throw line and those New Yorkers are screaming overrated and all this shit, which I would have done too. And I think that's good. He needs to be humiliated. He needs to be embarrassed. Wemby. He needs to hear this shit on the road. Overrated, stiff, Sean Bradley, bull. He needs to hear that. I think it'll be good for him. Well, if he's got any guts about him, in the long haul, it'll be good. We're going to find out how tough he is mentally. And I think, and so far, all he's ever shown me that he can handle it. It's not like he's not taken shit before. He took a lot of shit in the French league because he was a kid, and he was the wonder kind, and he was the second coming of whoever. And so he probably got a lot of crap on the road in the French leagues. But this is the NBA. It's a whole different thing. It can suck your confidence right out if you let it. And it's good that he's going to hear it right now. So like we've said all summer, ever since the Spurs won the draft lottery, there's going to be nights where he's a monster like he was in Phoenix the other day when he had 38. And he made the cover of every sports page in the country because he was so dominant. It was his coming out party. And then we're going to have weeks where he sucks. Hopefully not for weeks in a row, but like a week here, a week there. You know, he may have 35 against Minnesota tomorrow night at home. But he's been not good this week. But the club has been non-competitive. And we've got some trends here that we're starting to pick up on. And hopefully they're just early season trends that the coaches, beginning with Greg Popovich, will figure out. I did find it peculiar that Devin did not start last night. I hope that was a one-time thing just because he's coming off the injury, because As of right now, Devin Vassell is the best player you got. So they're back home tomorrow night for Minnesota, and then they play these Miami Heats in here on Sunday. These are two very losable games. These are two teams coming in here in which if they don't play their best ball, they will get their ass kicked. This thing's not very good right now at 3-5, and they got to figure it out because it's not that they're just losing games. They are non-competitive. I mean, just non-competitive. All right. It is, if you're watching this thing live, which many of you don't, but it's okay. It is 10:15 on Taylor Live.
No one told me.
Roll with it. Decided to, are you panicked? I did it on my own. I don't have to run everything by you that we do. Lawrence freaks out every time I do something that's unscripted. Because y'all know everything I say. We type. Lawrence and LG and I get up at 4 a.m. every morning, and we literally type out every word I'm going to say. I read a script all show long.
It's an ass whip.
Yep. That's why you look so awful every day. You got on me, by the way, last week for looking like a bum.
Yeah, is that me today?
You're not today. But you need to go back and look at the last 3 or 4 shows. I roll into your house, and I wonder whether or not I woke you up when I opened the door. I'm glad I have the door code. He's asleep half the time when I get here. All right. We have another one. This is bullshit. Once again, I'm stealing from News 4. Nice work, News 4. A heroic neighbor shot and killed 2 pit bulls that were viciously attacking a man on the west side. How cliche. The incident occurred around 8:30 last night off of South San Gabriel Road near West Commerce, one of the most historical neighborhoods in our town. Police said 2 pit bulls went through a hole in a fence. Again, because we live in a society where over the years, the pit bull didn't ask for this.
You know, we're living in a society
Where so many jackasses decide that they want a pit bull because it's cool, and they don't have any idea how to raise a dog, much less a pit bull terrier or an American Staffordshire, these different pit bull breeds, because they think it's cool, Holmes. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Chale.
Some lazy bastard has a hole in his fence, probably because he's too lazy to fix it. And so here's what happens. His dogs get out, and they get killed because of this asshole.
Excuse me, Holmes?
So these dogs go through a hole in a fence, and they just bum rush some 30-year-old guy. Wasn't even an older man. He was a young man, 30 years old. And while this young 30-year-old dude was being attacked by these dogos, a neighbor happened to see the whole thing, grabbed a pistola, ran over there and shot both of the dogs to death. It's bullshit. I feel bad for the dogs, honestly. Horse crap. I mean, they should have been shot. This guy saved a life. They probably would have mauled this poor guy. Had they not killed him, they probably would have mauled the shit out of him. I don't even know what his wounds are. I don't know the severity, but would have been a hell of a lot worse. The victim was rushed to the hospital with severe wounds to both of his legs. Officials say the neighbor who defended the victim will not face charges. I should hope not. Police say that the victim could have been killed had that witness not stepped in. Officers are waiting on detectives to determine whether or not the owner of the dogs will be held criminally responsible. Well, I should hope so. And again, obviously, I pay more attention to the news in this town more than any other town in the country. But I've seen data, and it's every damn year. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what the problem is. We lead the nation per capita in dog attacks every year amongst the major cities. More than New York, Chicago, LA, Detroit. I don't know what to do about it. We need some stiffer dog penalties. I think they tried to get some passed and got shot down in Austin. So a late punch to the jackass who was too lazy to fix the hole in his fence. And he's got 2 pit bulls out there who are aggressive type dogs and ornery and jumped on a human. It's one thing to have a dog that's aggressive toward other dogos, but to have a pit bull where you've done such a piss poor job with your dog, they want to attack a human. That tells me a lot about the idiot who owns the dogs. Punch that son of a bitch. God almighty. All All right, so there's that. Golly. How do I scroll up, LG?
Try like
I
two
figured it out.
fingers.
2 fingers.
Yeah.
What area do I concentrate on?
To what?
In the middle. Gene,
Towards
what's
the
up?
top.
Shout out to your boy Gene Centeno.
What up, Gene?
He's supposed to call you, Gene.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think he has. We need some tunes.
Well,
homie.
Gene's supposed to call me too. He said something about he was doing something.
All right, reach out to us, Gene.
Need some video work, I
Involve me, Holmes. Yeah, let's talk business. Our budget is $0. That's not true. Let's chat, Gene. We need some new bed music. I'm ready to. I want to take this show to a whole new level.
Oh, you
in
wanted
2K,
like a
huh?
celebrity death watch thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something Cannibal Corpse was our last one.
Something
but
Cannibal Corpsey, the most talented musician that we know, and we know a lot. Now, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but this dude, Gene, he's so eclectic. He has the ability to do anything. I think doesn't he have a jazz background? Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true that jazz artists are the ones that are the most? It's easier for a jazz artist to pick up other types of music and be good at it
Sure.
because of jazz being so artful and hard and difficult.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Or at least improvisation wise.
See.
Yeah.
All right, Gene, reach out to me, bro. LG's too busy or lazy or something. We need some. Let's have a meeting about tunes we need. I need a Celebrity Death Watch tune for 2K24. We got to get Bagtastic Voyage is going to start here in a week or so. Are we going to play that old? You played it before. There's
I'll look for it.
I like
Yeah,
that one. We
I'll
can
find
keep
it.
that one. All right. We need to have a production meeting with Gene. What's up, Gene? Yeah, we have another diddler, and she lives up by Eugene. She's up in Rockdale. Changed it to Fuckdale that week. It's awful. It was awful. AF Blue 82 from the Raptors to now, they've been completely inept at closing out to the three-point line. Yeah, the Spurs have the worst three-point defense on earth. There's probably leagues that play in the fucking Zimbabwe League that have better defenses than what San Antonio's rolling out right now. I'm late to the party because I didn't like watch any Spurs last year because I got things to do that are not that. I can't believe that our defense is any better than last year's, and that's with Wembanyama in the mix. That thing is awful. Just terrible. Knew they would struggle offensively early while they were figuring out their sets and rotations, but I would have expected for Pop to chew asses for their effort on D. Hey, Pop, I want some nasty. I'm right there with you, AF Blue 82.
I want some nasty.
A lot of y'all want to jump on Pop the way he's handled the point guard position, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. A lot of y'all want to get on his rotations. I want to see Pop call somebody a motherfucker. I'll never forget one of the few times I've been able to sit on the floor, because usually back in the old days when I was doing postgame, they had us up there on the baseline above the basket at the top of level 1. But I've sat on the floor a few times and been able to hear Pop screaming at his own dudes. He told Danny Green one time, like he was mouthing something at Danny Green. And as Danny was running off, Danny was like protesting, so Pop goes, "Fuck you, sit down."
Watch the language, little boy.
I watched him call Roger Mason Jr. an asshole one time. You asshole. Called him an asshole for missing a play. Man, Pop, I don't need Bob Knight out there. But, in the middle of our, historical lessons on, Thoreau and our stops at the Capitol and our social warfare, which is fine. Fight the good cause. I don't know, jump some asses. I'd like to see this too. Our world's not changed to the point where you can't jump some ass when it's necessary. I think Pop does need to be more nasty. I agree with AF Blue 82. I want to see some dog cussing. I want to see some asses on benches. It's funny, I was talking to that Jeff Garcia from Locked On this week. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and be patient.
Love Joe Garcia.
Okay, he got your name wrong once. This is a process. These people are not very good. This kid is just 19. But you need to get better. This thing it's regressed from opening night. When they went bucket for bucket with the Mavericks. If they play the Mavericks tonight, the Mavericks are going to beat their ass by 50. Not good, man. Ruben can't watch a soft-ass NBA with all the threes and no inside game. Don't care if they make them. Hate seeing all the chucking from behind the line with all the one-on-one ISO plays. Yeah, I mean, that's the league now, Holmes. I'm afraid we're all having to get used to it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. All the data suggests that you have a better chance to win the more you chuck. A lot of y'all are pissed that they're not getting the ball to Wemby enough. I'm with you. I watched Wemby do a lot of running around last night, not touching the goddamn ball. If I'm going to get beat by 40, I want that kid taking 35 shots. I don't care if he's dunking, they're posting him up, or he's chucking threes. How many shots did Wemby take last night? I didn't see. It wasn't 20. It was more, not much more than 10. If we're going to get our ass kicked, I want the kid balling out. Let the kid score. Give him I don't care if he goes 2 for 40. Let him shoot. Keep sending him up like Maverick and Top Gun. Navarro, when I go walking or jogging or running, I always have something on me for defense for dogs if that ever happens. At minimal, I have a small pocket knife on me at all times. Yeah, no shit. Dang. With the irresponsibility when it comes to dog ownership in this city, you got to carry something with you throughout jogging. It's bullshit. Screw the snakes and coyotes. I'm going to get attacked by my neighbor's beagle. Our town has a freaking epidemic, man. All right, what else? See, now you hurt Jeff. Now Jeff feels bad. Y'all need to have that. Y'all get that off my fucking.
No,
y'all need to call each
knows
other
I'm
on
just,
the side. Y'all need
I'm
to call
playing,
each other on the side.
We know about the Ninja Turtles. That there's only one left.
All right, Gene's back in here. I got to get through the semester at UT, then I'm all over. Yeah, the timing's perfect, Gene. Yeah. It's just I'm talking about 2024, man.
We got some things in the works. We're gonna need some new stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna need some new shit coming down as we get through this semester. Not right now, but. And I know I don't now. What I don't want him to do is spend 6 weeks on 2 songs. Don't go balls out, dude. Something fun and easy and quick. I don't want you to spend as much energy as you have to on this gig. But yeah, let's talk soon once you get to the end of the semester. We got some things in store for 2K24 as we try to take this thing to a different level. All right, let's talk Cowboys, shall we? It is Fart Drop Thursday. It's Mike Taylor Live. You can subscribe to this thing for free. You can become a member for $6 a month, or I'll let you in on all these new. And the thing, a lot of you are like, you don't do enough member stuff. It's coming. It's coming soon. What else? This show brought to you in part by R&R Autoglass, the official autoglass of us. If a rabid dog who is a murderous dog gets out of its fence because of all the dumbasses in this town that shouldn't have a dog, but attacks you and flies through your windshield to maul your kid, at least you know you can get the glass fixed at your car at R&R Autoglass. That might have been a stretch, but you know what I'm saying. However your glass gets damaged in your vehicle, whether you drive a generic car, a truck, van, whatever it might be, maybe you drive a Paletta Jeep, whatever. If it's got glass and it gets crushed, you can go get it fixed at R&R right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma at 340-2588. 340-2588 or rnrautoglass.com, rnrautoglass.com. All right, what else today? Cowboys. So they are getting ready to take on the Giants on Sunday, which means that they'll bounce back from Sunday. Dak will play great. Y'all will tell me I'm an idiot because I was mean to Dak after a hard fart loss. And all will be right, and they're going to win the Super Bowl again. They've got the Giants, they've got Carolina, and Washington the next 3 weeks. There's no reason why they shouldn't win all 3 of them. The only reason they shouldn't, because the NFL's stupid. But they should win. Not only should they beat the Giants on Sunday, they should beat the shit out of the Giants on Sunday. So the Giants are going to run something called Tommy DeVito out at quarterback. Hey, yeah, I'm Tommy DeVito. I'm going to play quarterback for the Giants. Yeah. Where do you think Tommy DeVito's from, LG? Tommy DeVito. He's playing quarterback this week for the Giants against the Cowboys. Where do you think he's
I
from?
don't know. Maybe New York?
New Jersey.
Okay.
Even worse. The douchebags of that, the D-bag state of that area.
You mean where the football teams actually play?
Yeah, Tommy DeVito, hometown guy. Yeah, he'll start over recently signed veteran Matt Barkley. So the Giants brought in Matt Barkley, who sucks. But Daniel Jones, who tore his ACL, is done for the year, and so they need somebody. They had Tyrod Taylor. Poor Tyrod Taylor, he's on injury reserve with busted ribs. And so they bring in Matt Barkley, but because this kid, Tommy DeVito, Tommy the Knee DeVito, he's been in camp all year. He's been there. He knows the plays. He's going to start Sunday until they can get Matt Barkley up to speed on their playbook or get Tyrod Taylor back from injured reserve. We're going to get Tommy DeVito. Jeez. This will be the first time in the common draft era that the Giants start an undrafted rookie in a non-strike game. This is only going to be the 10th undrafted rookie to start an NFL game in the last 15 years. It's the second one of the season, though. That Tyson Badgett's been starting for Chicago. I mentioned this yesterday. The quarterback play has been atrocious by the standards set forth by the NFL. Quarterback play has been terrible overall this year. Scoring is down. The offenses are boring. And it doesn't help that you've had a lot of injuries. And say what you want about Daniel Jones, it's appreciably worse in New York without him on that field versus Tommy DeVito. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Tommy DeVito. He went undrafted this year. He played college ball at Syracuse in Illinois from out of the state of New Jersey. Yeah. After weeks of taking only scout team reps, this dude's going to start against Dallas on the road. Okay. And they asked him yesterday, what do you think about going on the road to play the Cowboys in your first start? He said, I have a life rule. Number one, don't panic. Good luck, bro. The line is 16.5. The Cowboys are favored. Take Dallas. I think that's the biggest line of the year. You just don't ever see a line 16.5. Give me Dallas. The Cowboys are going to win. Let me see. Cowboys. I'm going to say Cowboys 41. New York 7. 41-7 Dallas. Anything less than that, and I'm going to annihilate Dak Prescott again. No, I'm kidding. Whatever we see, it's a 325 game. However the thing goes, however it shakes down, we will have the post game right after the game on Sunday night on Twitter. My live Twitter feed.
Hey, Twitter world.
I am going to do a live Twitter chat and give my takes on Cowboys, all presented by the law office of Orlando Kell. All right. Gitoso. I hope we don't hear the same damn excuses all year that we're the youngest team in the league. No, I think most of us are getting pissed already. I think a lot of Spurs fans don't mind getting beat. That's fine. You're going to get beat. You're not very good. Hell, the Chicago Bulls lost 10 games in, 1997. You're going to get beat on occasion. Sometimes you lose. I ain't got time to get my ass kicked by 35 and 40 points every night. That is non-competitive. What are we doing? Something is not – there is no way that they're this bad where they're getting their asses run off the floor by the middle of the second quarter. Hell, you had people that live in New York showing up to the game by the time they get to their seats early in the second quarter because a lot of those New Yorkers are cool and they get there late. Hell, by the time some of those people that sit courtside got to their seats, there was a fucking 30-point game already. It was ridiculous. It's non-competitive, and that's BS. This is the worst stretch of Spurs basketball that I have ever seen in all my years covering the Spurs every day. Now, granted, I didn't watch any games last year. Was it this bad for this kind of stretch last year where they're just that non-competitive? They lost a bunch of games, obviously. They had the worst record in the league. They had the worst defense in the history of the club. I'm assuming we're on pace to have even worse defense this year, ironically, with Victor Wembanyama in the mix. You cannot tell me that they're that poor. No way. I refuse to believe it. There's no way they're that poor. All right, so that's that. All right, it's Taylor Live on YouTube and Spotify and Patreon and iHeart and all the things. You can jump in there with a chat if you want to. So I got to punch myself, a late punch to me. So this picture I show, remember this picture I put up yesterday of Tom Brady with Wemby? I said it was photoshopped. Turns out it was not photoshopped. That's a real picture. What was photoshopped is they made Tom Wemby's height. Some people were doing that when Tom is clearly nowhere near Wemby's height. So Wemby did get to meet Tom Brady on the off day, the day before yesterday in New York.
Okay, now it makes a lot more sense why Tom would tweet that out.
Right. Well, what he was saying was, look, but there's a lot of photoshopping going around. People were putting those two in like different areas. He's like, no, I met the kid once. He's a nice kid. This one here was photoshopped because I'm clearly not as tall as him. What's Brady, 6'4"? Or 6'5"?
It's the dad joke equivalent of a tweet.
Right, pretty much. So Brady went on Instagram and shared the same picture and confirmed, no, I did meet the kid. He was a nice guy. Wemby was asked about this yesterday before the game. And Tom Brady put on his Instagram last night, he wrote, awesome to meet you, Wemby. Incredible young man. Usually I'd make some joke here about how I think I could get 10-10 against you, but let's be real, you'd send my jumper into the club level. P.S. Then he takes a shot at his buddy Julian Edelman, the former Super Bowl MVP and teammate. He wrote, this how you felt all those years? Because Edelman's short and Tom's tall, but... Okay, so they did meet each other. That's great. Wemby's, meeting guys. He's meeting Tom Brady. He's on the front page of the New York Post. And, they had a scroll of his new commercial, the sports drink, the healthy sports drink he's pimping these days called Barcode. They were running a commercial and an ad apparently on the Times Square scroll. These are great things. This is cool. Love it. Wemby needs to get used to being this giant star everywhere he goes. But probably ought to, kick ass on the court, and look, he's a kid. And I don't know why they've been so poor, but all this shine's going to wear off. And maybe in some ways it needs to. Just get these first month, 6 weeks out of the way, get all this hoopla, play 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 road games. Get all that shit out of your system because everywhere they go right now, there's going to be a vibe in that city, a buzz, I guess, that Wemby's in that town for the first time, right? So people will be trumping that up. And so when he's awesome, it's going to just get inflated, all of that hype. When he's horrible, like he was last night, he's going to get overrated. And this is good for him. I think in the long haul, this can toughen his ass up, which he needs to be toughened up. Post show. By the way, speaking of Dak.
Dak Prescott sucks.
Dak was asked yesterday about the new wide receiver the Cowboys just took a flyer on, Martavis Bryant. Dak marveled at Bryant's speed and size because he's huge. He's like 6'4", still has those same wheels. Martavis Bryant, who smoked himself out of the league and hadn't played in the league in 5 years. The Cowboys, I don't know, either out of desperation or it's kind of like a Trey Lance deal where there's a talented dude available for nothing, so might as well give it a shot. Whatever the reason is, they decided to bring in this kid, Martavis Bryant. I call him a kid. Hell, he's now north of 30. He's been out of the league so long. But he's got all these physical skills, but he's a knucklehead. But Bryant was saying yesterday that he's grown up a lot and was alluding to, he said there were very, very many extremely dark days, very dark days, that they were so dark, he doesn't even really want to address them. They were so dark. Okay. There's your new potential starting wide receiver here in a few weeks if things go to shit. He's on the practice squad for now. Hey, man, I come on this show all the time and act like I'm this ruthless mercenary when it comes to running the roster. I don't give a shit what your past is. If a kid can help me for 6 weeks, for 2 games, I'll run him out there. If he has a meltdown, big deal. We'll just kick his ass off the team here in a month. But maybe he can help us win a game now in the intermediate time. They got an easy schedule, if such a thing exists in the NFL, with Tommy DeVito and the Giants. Then you got a shitty Carolina team. And then you got Washington. Maybe Bryant, by the Washington game, can get into the rotation. Who knows? Whatever, man. All I know right now is the Cowboys have one good wide receiver named C.D. Lamb. They had a tight end named Jason Turd Ferguson. And that's it. No one else has done shit from a receiving standpoint. They're not getting anything out of that spare they drafted out of Michigan, Luke Schoonmaker, who looks like a bust. By the way, remember the Cowboys' first-round pick? Go. Mozzie Smith. Have you noticed him once? First 2 months of the season? Nope, I haven't either. They're going to be an 8-3. If they win the next 3 weeks, what they should, they're going to be 8-3. But we all know better, don't we? Anyway, I don't know what the deal is. They can't, not only are they not getting the ball to Brandon Cooks, and I brought this up yesterday, they didn't even try to get the ball to him on Sunday night, which is why McCarthy got asked about it and got butthurt. I don't play fantasy football. Well, maybe you ain't playing fantasy football, but in the real world, you ain't throwing the fucking ball to one of your best guys. What the hell does that have to do with fantasy football? They only targeted Brandon Cooks twice on Sunday night. Brandon Cooks went out there, made $350,000 this week on the game check and ran all around and didn't do nothing because they didn't even throw him a ball. It's bullcrap. Threw him 2 passes the whole night long. That's bullsh. That's no bueno. All right, Kerry Von Erich Foot is in here. Look out, NBA Lottery 2025. Here come the Spurs. God bless Jonathan Hankins. Look, man, I'm fine with being in the lottery next year. It means we'll get another superior young kid. But I'm not fine with not being competitive at all. I need to see progress. And look, we're 2 weeks in. They've played 8 games.
2 weeks.
I need to see progress, though. We're seeing regression, and it's not good. Diesel Doc 512. How many games did you say they would win this year? Rewind the tape. LOL. I said they win 40. Well, no. I said they win north of 35. I have a bet with my brother, the truck driver, that they'll win 35 games. He's got the under. I have the over. If it's 35, it's a push. And Wemby has to play in 60% of the games or the bet's off. Because if Wemby gets hurt, misses a long time, the bet's off. Roma's finest 0-5. Last 2.5 games are the worst basketball I have ever seen in my life. No point guard. Completely lost on defense. Putrid bench. No leadership on the court. I can see why this team only won 22 last year. But if they get worse this year, while adding Wemby, is it time to evaluate Pop? Hey, man, Pop's there as long as he wants to be, as long as he's alive. That don't mean we can't evaluate him.
He just signed 5 more years.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't mean, but I doubt he'll see the end of that contract to retire.
If Wemby starts winning, he will. You bet your ass.
Well, maybe. Well, as long as he's healthy, and it appears that he is. Y'all want me, and I said this earlier, I'd like to see Pop do some cussing. And at his age, you just don't get as bombastic as maybe as you once did. But, training camp's fucking over. Don't mind getting beat, but I need to see competitiveness. They're not even competitive. And if you're not going to be competitive and you're going to get your ass kicked, give the ball to the kid and everybody else get your asses out of the way.
It's garbage.
Just force feed Wemby the ball. And what are you going to do? Lose by 30? You're already doing that now. There's the criticism right there. Getting the ball to number 1. So if you want to criticize the coach, maybe it's that.
Fix this shit, Rich.
Well, George, right there with you. Get Wemby the ball until he finds his shot and get the hell out of the way. What are you going to do? Who cares if you lose? I'm right. Again, don't mind losing. I just need to see that hope that we all. I was at my chest. Don't forget, it's only been a week since the Phoenix games. Had my chest all pumped out, talking shit to my brother. I think I texted him and asked my brother the other night, did he want to go ahead and give me that $100 now and get it over with? And then fast forward 5 days later, and I'm on here thinking, oh, shit. Maybe I better give him the $100 the way this thing has looked awful this week. Real JC, bad perimeter defense, no spacing on offense. It's going to take time, but they need better point guard play, and Wemby needs to be more assertive. Evil Spock's in here. Pop's lost his fire. He'd be all over the Spurs of yesteryear if they didn't play any D. Whether the game has changed or not, you still got to play some D to win. I'm embarrassed and I'm distancing. I'm not distancing, but I'm embarrassed for show.
You play to win the game.
Yeah, I'm absolutely embarrassed. It's dog shit. It's just dog shit. All right, that's enough of that. They play Minnesota tomorrow. I'm expecting a loss, but I'm not expecting to get beat by 40 effing points. I am expecting Devin Vassell to start. I'm expecting Victor Wembanyama to take a bunch of shots. These are the two things I want. Start Devin, feed Wemby. That's it. I know you're not going to win a lot of games. You're not as good as you're going to be in 2 years. Start Devin, feed Wemby. There is the hashtag for the next 2 games over this weekend, where they play men tomorrow night and they play Miami on Sunday. All right, show also brought to you in part by San Antonio City Soccer, the official soccer club of Thunderdome is the San Antonio City Soccer Club. Get a hold of me if you want to get information to get your kids signed up for this club. It's an outstanding club that plays year-round soccer. We just built some new fields up at the Speck Road location. They got fields all over the city, but the Speck Road location, we help sponsor a field up there, Thunderdome Field. How about that? See? If you're interested in this club, hit me up, jump out there and get the information. We support them. They support us. Over 1,500 kids in the league, as I said, all ages 4 to 19. So if you're looking for some soccer, San Antonio City Soccer Club, the official soccer club of our program. No way they get worse as the season goes by. AF Blue 82. They'll figure out the dudes from the Jags, settle the rotation by the All-Star game, and go on a run to close out the season. Probably. But in the real world, the actual world, they suck. And I need to see competitiveness over the weekend. I don't need to see wins. I need to see competitiveness. I need to see Victor Wembanyama take a bunch of shots. All right, that's it. We're done. I've had a good week. We've had a good week. I appreciate it, man. Really do. We're back in here on Monday with Mike Taylor live. Appreciate you subscribers. Appreciate you members. Appreciate you haters. This show has thrived over the years because of the haters, too. Had a lot of hate this week over my Cowboys and Aggies takes. That's okay. That's what happens when you do this shit for a living. Sunday night, probably around 6:30 or so, as soon as the Cowboys and Giants game's over, I have Cowboys Overreact presented by the law office of Orlando Kell on a live Twitter feed. So you boys jump in there and help us out with a view on Sunday. And then we'll get back in here on Monday for Knee Jerk Monday and do it all over again. Love everybody. Appreciate you, Thunderdome. Love you hard. Thank you to DJ LG. Thanks to me. There would be no show without me either. That's it. We're done. See you boys in here on Monday.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
I'm here to fucking amuse you.